The first sign of your manifestation is the emotion. When the idea hatches in your mind, you're in the receiving mode. You must be in the receiving mode of your source in order for you to be able to clearly state your desire. So much has already happened. So much progress has already happened. You're already well along the journey. By the time the idea is in your mind, you're so well along the journey, and continue to as you keep progressing in your journey. You're not going to see your desire for a while. You're not going to see your manifestation for a while. So that means that if you're using the physical evidence, if you're looking for the physical evidence of your desire, if you're looking for signs, and when you don't find it because it's too premature, then you're going to deem your manifestation as a flop, as a failure. And then before you're able to cross the threshold, before you're right about to, you turn around and you go in the other direction, and then nothing really changes. Everyone would rather have it this way. Everyone would rather observe reality, and when there's something good to observe, they'll feel good. And when there's something that's bad to observe, they push against it. They get into groups and they're like, you know what, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. Being a creator is really about molding the clay of your emotions. It's choosing how to feel. It's choosing and understanding your guidance system. You have this guidance system, and the thing about this guidance system is that it's very fabulous. It's very sophisticated because your guidance system is like the guidance systems in your cars, and those guidance systems operate under the same, premise of your guidance systems that you're built in with. And that guidance system is emotion. Your emotion is your guidance system. You can have everything that you want. You already have everything that you want. You've already created everything. You can't help but ask. We don't need to help you create your desire or make you ask for more. We need to teach you, and you need to learn and practice the art of allowing, which is the art of receiving your desire, of letting them in, because they're knocking on your door. All of your desires are ready for you now. You can have everything that you want. You can be or have anything, but you have to be able to receive it. You have to be able to translate it, because no one can go into your vortex and translate your vortex. That's why there's no such thing as competition or scarcity, because no one can take your vortex from you. It's yours. It's filled with what you want. And so while you're doing this manifesting, while you're undergoing manifestation, you're always on this journey. You're on the journey of a lifetime, and so you have to learn how to quantify your journey. You have to learn how to believe in your journey. You have to learn how to basically believe it before you see it, because that's what it's all about. That's what a manifestor is. Because you could be like everyone else. You could be like all of them are not on the leading edge, because they're not willing to believe in something that they can't see yet. They're like, well, give me the evidence first. Science. That's how science is. Science moves slowly because they want all the evidence for it first. They want the empirical, real information. And we just know that there's a whole other reality that precedes this reality, which is a vibrational realm. It's called the vortex. Everything that you want is being held for you in the spinning vortex of creation. And in that vortex, everything that you want is your money, is all of the solutions that you've created as a result of the problems of your life. They're right there spinning for you. And how are you going to be able to receive it? Well, first of all, you are going to receive it, because law of attraction is the one who matches you up with everything. You're not the one who makes everything happen. Your job is to be the pair of the vibration. Your job is to stand where you are right now and choose your vibrational disc, like how you would choose a radio channel. And while you're choosing, you have to know how to choose. That's what this relational experience of your emotions is all about. This doesn't feel good. Oh, this feels a little off. Because here's the thing about your desires. You have this desire, right? And how do they feel to you? How do your unfulfilled desires feel to you? That's what it all matters. That's what this all matters, because this conversation is about the emotion. We know that you can believe it before you see it. When someone asks you like, hey, how is this going? You're saying, oh, it's going amazing. I just feel it. Like you're one of those, spiritual people who don't believe, who are just, basically like delusional. You're like, no, I'm a creator. I have evidence. But the thing about my evidence is that you can't see it, because it's my guidance system. It's how I feel. And I don't need to convince you or anyone else. I just need to convince myself. I just need to line up with my desire, and it has to come to me, because it's a law of the universe. It's a law of attraction. And then if they're smart, they'll keep asking you about more. They'll keep prodding you. They'll be like, well, what do you mean? And you're like, yeah, I just understood that when I felt good, I was going towards something that I was going to like. And when I felt bad, I was going towards a manifestation that I didn't like. I won't like by the time I would get there. And so I just realized that I just care about how I felt. I really wanted to feel good, because I was so tired of not feeling good anymore. And I understood that I could do something about all this. I could be the creator. It's so interesting to talk to creators, because sometimes you all ask questions like, when is this going to come? What can I do to make this come? And we find it so fascinating, because we're like, well, you're the creator. It's all up to you. Everyone's following your lead. You're the leading edge. All of source energy, all the masters and geniuses of your time and of the time past, they're still interested in the crafts that they were masters in. They're still singing songs to the new musicians. They're still here, and they want to play with you. They truly do. They want to employ your mind. They want to fill your mind with the information that made them masters. That's what they're so interested in. They're so interested in this time and space. All of source is interested in this time and space. And so you got to be the receiver. You got to be the receiver. And how are you going to become the receiver? Well, everything is like a frequency, right? And so your emotions literally tell you about what frequency you're on and what frequency you're not on. So your money is on a frequency. But the thing about something like your money is that it's really two subjects. There's the presence of your money and the absence of your money. It's like, imagine a stick and there's two subjects on it. So you have to know which side you're on, and your emotions will basically tell you that. It's really interesting because as you understand your emotions and you understand that good emotion, good feeling, positive emotion, meaning ranging from satisfaction all the way up to bliss, that's your sign that you're going in the right direction. And the interesting piece is that we have to convince you, the sales job that we're trying to make is that emotion is as good as a manifestation. When you talk about why you want it and you feel that momentum kick in, when you talk or think a thought for more than 17 seconds, enough momentum will start gathering that another thought will come. And then by the time you hit the 68-second mark, it's literally like a baby being born out of the womb. Like the baby is leaving the womb. The birthing process has become your ability to translate that desire has now undergone. Do you know how fascinating that is? This is literally the what your reality is. This is the most tangible explanation of what's literally happening on a daily basis, a second by second basis, a minute by minute basis. You're translating frequencies into fuller and fuller realization until they're so real that everyone can see it. And we find that so interesting because on the subjects that you don't really want, sometimes it seems like, well, I can't get out of the rut. We're saying is because look at the way you're thinking about, look at your story around it, you just have these dominant beliefs. And these dominant beliefs, a belief is just a thought you continue to think. So as you have these resistance thoughts and these patterns that really thwart your connection, that don't allow you to fully realize your desire, then these conversations help. Scripting does help, because whatever it is that makes you feel better, it helps, because you're not going to, these patterns of resistance are going to gradually go away. They're not going to go away with one conversation, because they've been practiced for years. You have evidence of it. But now we're trying to enter into the chat a new type of evidence, which is this emotional evidence. You want to learn how to expect your desire. How can you expect your desire? How can you believe in something that you can't see yet? This is how you do it. Are you ready? Because you care about how you feel. Isn't everything for a feeling anyways? And don't you care about how you feel? Doesn't positive emotion feel good? Isn't that so rudimentary to humankind? Or are you just numb to your emotions? Are you just like, you know what, sacrifice and struggle is how you do everything? The sales pitch truly is, when you feel good about your desire, when you can talk about why you want it and you feel good, that's what you're looking for. And this is the interesting piece about all this, is that we want you to hold on to the emotional piece because it feels good. We want you to believe it. We want you to be like, well, I have this desire. I feel it. It's a real desire. It's real because I'm not like everyone else. I'm learning to exercise a new way of translating vibration. It's like you have to see it with your emotional eyes. Do you understand that? It's like you're seeing it before anyone else can see it. You're navigating the progress. You're quantifying the progress by how you feel, not by how much manifests, because everything that you want is already 99% completed vibrationally. So by the time it gets to your physical reality, by the time you can see evidence of it, by the time people are congratulating you, patting you on the back, by the time there's awards being issued, it's already too late. It's already too late to turn that creation around. It's already been created. And all that to say is that that manifestation was a result of a lot of focused energy. And do you know what constitutes momentum? And that focus, not contradicting with thoughts, not contradictory thoughts, not splitting your own energy, pure thought, not contradictory thought. So as you hold the contradictory thoughts for however long you do, then you cut yourself off from the vortex. You cut yourself off from being able to see it, because you're contradicting your own energy. You're contradicting what you want, and your negative emotion is the reason why, because you're splitting your own energy. And so splitting your energy is really interesting, because when you're looking at reality, when you're looking at the physical reality for evidence, when you're taking score of like, hey, how much have I manifested today, and you don't see the results, you have a reason to feel negative. Everyone would agree with you, but we're just saying there's more evidence, there's more to the scene, there's more to the story than you're letting yourself on, because you have to feel it. And so as you learn how to feel this emotion, as the first sign of your manifestation is emotion, once you feel the emotion, you're like, that's it, guys, I'm gonna have it. Like this is mine. I can expect this. So someone's like, well, how can you expect that? Because I feel it. I feel it's real, and I know what the emotional manifestation is. And as you steadily stay on that path of being like, I can feel it, I believe it because I feel it, then not only will you get what you want to manifest, but you will be shown evidence that teaches you for sure that you know the formula. And then you're going to be able to continue to want, experience the problem, and the solution is so fast because you understand that it's about quantifying your own journey. Do you know what that means when we say quantifying your own journey? It means that you don't need anyone else's guidance because you're like, you have these 2 points of relativity. You have one right here and you have one out there. You have one source energy who is literally your other point of relativity. So as these 2 points of relativity are moving throughout your day, all you have to do is just mind the relationship, mind the gap. That's why this human experience is what you sign up for, because there just is a lag time, because you're vibrational but you're also human, and being vibrational means that you're always going to be ahead of the game because reality has to catch up, because you're expanding so much faster than reality can even support you with or show you evidence of. And that's why you're a creator, because you wanted to be out ahead of reality, and then you would see how reality, it was like a treasure hunt. It would fill in around you, and that would be the joy. It's like you're sculpting clay and you create all these sculptures and you fill a whole room with all the sculptures, and you're continuing to make sculptures, and a lot of them are famous, a lot of them are not, but ultimately you're just here to sculpt because you like the feeling of your hands in the clay and how they sculpt these sculptures that people will call legendary, or some people will hate, and you don't care because you're just like, well, for me it's just about sculpting because I'm a creator. It's what a creator does. That's exactly how you felt about your life experience, because it's literally like, imagine you're going from point A to point B, but think about your GPS system on your phone. You understand this because when you're halfway there, you don't doubt the fact that point B is not there. You know it's there because the guidance system is telling you, your GPS is telling you have 4 more minutes left. So you don't freak out about not being at point B yet. You just know that there's a physical distance that you still have to undergo in order for you to go to point B. But that's what your desires are like. The thing about your desires is that you don't see them yet, so you doubt it. You're like, well, can it really happen? And so that's what the missing piece is that you don't have the belief factor intact because you don't see it yet. But we're telling you have to get over seeing it with your eye. You have to see it with your emotional eye. You talk about it like, oh, I feel good about this desire because when I talk about why I want it, I feel good about it. Oh, there you go, I'm gonna have it. It's that simple. That's the thing, is it's actually that simple. And you know that because there are the things that you really don't care about. Those are the things that come to you so fast because you don't care about them, because you don't offer contradictory thoughts about them. You're not being like, oh, I don't think it's gonna happen. You're just like, whatever, like who really cares if it happens or not? And it always happens. You notice that it always happens because you're not there. You're not trying to be the engine, because law of attraction is the one who gathers all the cooperative components up. Law of attraction is that you have to become a master of timing. That's what being a manifestor is. And the thing about timing is that you keep missing the rendezvous point, because just as you're about to get to the rendezvous point where you and source is gonna match you up with everything that you want, you know what happens? You turn around, you're like, oh, I'm not at point B. I'm not at point B yet, so I'm gonna doubt that point B's there. But when it's a physical destination, you don't doubt that it's there. You're just like, yeah, whatever, I'm not there yet, but I know I'm gonna get there. But with your desires, you don't talk like that. You don't talk as if they're inevitable. You talk as if they're iffy. But your desires are not iffy. They're real. They're like a real reality. That's what's so interesting, is that your desires are a real reality. That's why it's like this manifestation process really is about allowing. And what allowing really means is that you're using your emotions as your evidence. You're not using reality, because reality it can't give you the evidence, because by the time it manifests, it's already old. By the time it manifests, it's like the first sign of your manifestation is your emotion, and then the second sign of what you manifested it's the physical manifestation itself, is what actually manifests. That's how you know what your vibration is. But we're trying to get you in on the behind the scenes of this whole reality, which is what law of attraction, understanding law of attraction in the true essence, in the true form, is really all about. This is how you get your badge as a creator, and you kind of go to that next level. But it's not really the next level. It's a next level of quote unquote faith, but it's more just understanding. You just get it. You're like, well, I understand, because now you know how to quantify your journey. Now you're not just like, oh, I just like, I feel good with money, but I don't see any. But now you know how to get yourself to more money, because you're like, well, I see the money with my emotional eyes. I feel it. It feels like passion. Because guess what? Your desires are far off right now because they need to be physically manifested. But the emotion, that vibrational currency that we've been talking about, that's easy. You can have clarity right now. You can have the feeling of money right now while you don't have the money right now. You can have the feeling of paying your bills right now. You can have the feeling of the literary empire. You can have the feeling of being one of the richest people in the world, or one of the most successful people in the world, or one of the best actors in the world. You can have that feeling right now. And the thing about what we're saying is that once you have that feeling and you own it, meaning, well, what feels good for me is different for what feels good for you, because we're viscerally feeling it different. You own it, then. And not only do you own it, now you're expecting. Now you're in that place of positive expectation, because you're like, well, I expect all these things to come now because I've already felt all these desires. So they just have to fill in. It's naturally that they fill in, because now I don't doubt. I just know that there's a process. I know that they're going to come. I know the point B exists. And so as I'm on this journey, I'm not tripping anymore. As I'm on this journey, I'm just having fun. I'm just lighthearted. It's just easy because I'm excited. I'm excited for all my desires. I'm excited for everything. Everything is calling my name because the source is calling you. That's what your negative emotions really mean. That's what your emotions mean, period. Because source is calling you. When you're angry, source is calling you up to revenge. And it's interesting because this call is so intense for some people that they leave their bodies because they have these patterns of resistance that they cannot even shut down for a second, or they cannot even let go for a second in order for the vortex to shine the light, or for them to even go in the vortex and find where the solutions are. They have to naturally reemerge because everyone's greatest intention is joy. Truly it is. While freedom is also there, we always say it's joy. Everyone wants joy. Everything is about joy. And as you feel joy because you understand that, you know what, I'm gonna have everything that I want. Listen, you proclaim it to the world because you can proclaim it to the world. Someone will be like, sometimes it feels you don't want to go all in with your desires because you don't see it yet. So you don't want to look a fool. You don't want to be delusional. But we're like, you're not delusional. You are a creator. But you're just using a different criteria for what's real now. And that is, if I feel it, if it feels good to me, that's a done deal. It's coming to me. It's not only coming to me, it's coming to me fast, because we're not talking about time here. We're not even talking about days. We're talking about now. It's now. Your desires are now. Because as you reduce the fact that it's not here by talking about the fact that it is here, it's emotionally here right now. It's vibrationally here. You can translate it. It's subtle, but you have to translate it. And as you get really good at translating these subtle emotions and these subtle vibrations of your desires, of the presence of them, because the absence is so loud, the absence is right in front of your face, while the presence is right there, then you are a creator that not only knows how to create anything that they want, but they're having